Sonnet 111. Oh, for my sake do you with fortune chide, the guilty goddess of my harmful deeds, that did not better for my life provide than public means which public manners breeds. Thence comes it that my name receives a brand, and almost thence my nature is subdued to what it works in, like the dyer's hand. Pity me, then, and wish I were renewed, whilst, like a willing patient, I will drink potions of easel 'gainst my strong infection. No bitterness that I will bitter think, nor double penance to correct correction. Pity me, then, dear friend, and I assure ye, even that your pity is enough to cure me.
Sonnet 112. Your love and pity doth impression fill with vulgar scandal stamped upon my brow. For what care I who calls me well or ill, so you o'ergreen my bad, my good allow. You are my all the world, and I must strive to know my shames and praises from your tongue. None else to me, nor I to none alive, that my stilled sense or changes right or wrong. In so profound abysm I draw all care of others' voices that my adder's sense to critic and to flatterer stopped are. Mark how with my neglect I do dispense. You are so strongly in my purpose bred, that all the world besides me thinks are dead.
Sonnet 113. Since I left you, mine eye is in my mind, and that which governs me to go about doth part his function, and is partly blind, seems seen, but effectually it's out. For it no form delivers to the heart of bird, of flower, or shape which it doth let. Of his quick objects hath the mind no part, nor his own vision holds what it doth catch. For if it see the rudest or gentlest sight, the most sweet favour, or the formest creature, the mountain or the sea, the day or night, the crow or dove, it shapes them to your feature, incapable of more, replete with you, my most true mind, thus maketh mine eye untrue.
Sonnet 114. Or whether doth my mind, being crowned with you, drink up the monarch's plague, this flattery? Or whether shall I say mine eye saith true, and that your love taught it this alchemy, to make of monsters and things indigest such cherubims as your sweet self resemble, creating every bad a perfect best, as fast as objects to his beams assemble? Oh, 'tis the first, 'tis flattery in my seeing, and my great mind most kingly drinks it up. Mine eye well knows what with his gust is green, and to his palate doth prepare the cup. If it be poisoned, 'tis the lesser sin, that mine eye loves it and doth first begin.
Sonnet 115. Those lines that I before have writ do lie, even those that said I could not love you dearer. Yet then my judgment knew no reason why my most full flame should afterwards burn clearer. But recognize time, whose millioned accidents creep and twist vows and change decrees of kings, turn sacred beauty, blunt the sharpest intents, divert strong minds to the course of altering things. Alas, why, fearing of time's tyranny, might I not then say, now I love you best, when I was certain over uncertainty, crowned in the present, doubting of the rest. Love is a babe. Then, might I not say so, to give full growth to that which still doth grow?
Sonnet 116. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love, which alters when it alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. Oh no, it is a never fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. It is the star to every wandering bark, whose worth's unknown, although his height be taken. Love's not time's full, though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle's compass come. Love alters not with his brief hours and weeks, but bears it out even to the edge of doom. If this be error, and upon me proved, I never writ, nor no man ever loved.
Sonnet 117. Accuse me thus, that I have scanted all, wherein I should your great deserts repay, forgot upon your dearest love to call, whereto all bonds to tie me day by day, that I have frequent been with unknown minds, and given to time your own dear purchased right, that I have hoisted sail to all the winds, which should transport me farther from your sight. Book both my wilfulness and errors down, and on just proved surmise accumulate. Bring me within the level of your frown, but shoot not at me in your wakened hate, since my appeal says I did strive to prove the constancy and virtue of your love.
Sonnet 118. Like as to make our appetites more keen, with eager compounds we our palate urge, as to prevent our maladies unseen, we sicken to shun sickness when we purge. Even so, being full of your ne'er cloying sweetness, to bitter sauces did I frame my feeding, and, sick of welfare, found a kind of meetness, to be diseased, ere that there was true needing. Thus policy in love, to anticipate the ills that were not, grew to faults assured, and brought to medicine a healthful state, which, rank of goodness, would by ill be cured. But thence I learn, and find the lesson true. Drugs poison him that so fell sick of you.
Sonnet 119. What potions have I drunk of siren tears, to steal from limbecks foul as hell within, applying fears to hopes and hopes to fears, still losing when I saw myself to win. What wretched errors hath my heart committed, whilst it hath thought itself so blessed never? How have mine eyes out of their spheres been fitted, in the distraction of this madding fever? O benefit of ill, now I find true, that better is by evil still made better, and ruined love, when it is built anew, grows fairer than at first, more strong, far greater. So I returned rebuked to my content, and gained by ills thrice more than I have spent.
Sonnet 120. That you were once unkind befriends me now, and for that sorrow which I then did feel, needs must I under my transgression bow, unless my nerves were brass or hammered steel. For if you were by my unkindness shaken, as I by yours, you've passed a hell of time, and I, a tyrant, have no leisure taken to weigh how once I suffered in your crime. Oh, that our night of woe might have remembered my deepest sense how hard true sorrow hits, and soon to you as you to me then tendered the humble salve which wounded bosoms fits. But that your trespass now becomes a fee, mine ransoms yours, and yours must ransom me.
Sonnet 121. 'Tis better to be vile than vile esteemed, when not to be receives reproach of being, and the just pleasure lost, which is so deemed, not by our feeling, but by others' seen. For why should others' false adultered eyes give salutation to my sportive blood? Or of my frailties, why are frailer spies, which in their wills count bad what I think good? No, I am that I am, and they that level at my abuses reckon up their own. At my be straight, though they themselves be rebel, by their rank thoughts my deeds must not be shown, unless this general evil they maintain. All men are bad, and in their badness reign.
Sonnet 122. Thy gift, thy tables, are within my brain full charactered with lasting memory, which shall above that idle rank remain beyond all date, even to eternity; or, at the least, so long as brain and heart have faculty by nature to subsist, till each to raised oblivion yield his part of thee. Thy record never can be missed; that poor retention could not so much hold, nor need I tallies thy dear love to score. Therefore to give them from me was I bold, to trust those tables that receive thee more, to keep an adjunct to remember thee were to import forgetfulness in me.
Sonnet 123. No time thou shalt not boast that I do change thy pyramids, built up with newward might, to me are nothing novel, nothing strange. They are but dressings of a former sight. Our dates are brief, and therefore we admire what thou dost foist upon us that is old, and rather make them born to our desire, than think that we before have heard them told. Thy registers and thee I both defy, not wondering at the present nor the past, for thy records in what we see doth lie, made more or less by thy continual haste. This I do vow, and this shall ever be, I will be true despite thy scythe and thee.
Sonnet 124. If my dear love were but the child of state, it might for fortune's bastard be unfathered, as subject to time's love or to time's hate, weeds among weeds, or flowers with flowers gathered. No, it was builded far from accident. It suffers not in smiling pomp, nor falls under the blow of thralled discontent, whereto the inviting time or fashion calls. It fears not policy, that heretic which works on leases of short-numbered hours, but all alone stands hugely politic, that it nor grows with heat nor drowns with showers. To this I witness call the fools of time, which die for goodness, who have lived for crime.
Sonnet 125. Were thought to me I bore the canopy, with my extern the outward honouring, or laid a great basis for eternity, which proves more short than waste or running. Have I not seen dwellers, on form and favour, lose all and more by paying too much rent, for compound sweet foregoing simple savour, pitiful thrivers in their gazing spent? No, let me be obsequious in thy heart, and take thou my oblation, poor but free, which is not mixed with seconds, knows no art, but mutual render only me for thee. Hence, thou suborned informer, a true soul, when most impeached stands least in thy control.
Sonnet 126. O thou, my lovely boy, who in thy power dost hold time's fickle glass, his sickle hour, who hast by waning ground, and therein show'st thy lover's withering as thy sweet self grow'st. If Nature, sovereign mistress of her rack, as thou goest onwards, still will pluck thee back, she keeps thee to this purpose, that her skill may time disgrace, and wretched minutes kill. Yet fear her, O thou minion of her pleasure. She may detain, but not still keep her treasure. Her audit, though delayed, answered must be, and her quietus is to render thee.
Sonnet 127. In the old age, black was not counted fair, or if it were, it bore not beauty's name. But now is black beauty's successive heir, and beauty slandered with a bastard shame. For seems each hand hath put on nature's power, fairing the foul with art's false borrowed face. Sweet beauty hath no name, no holy bower, but is profaned, if not lives in disgrace. Therefore my mistress' eyes are raven black, her eyes so suited, and they manner seem, at such who, not born fair, no beauty lack, slandering creation with a false esteem. Yet, so they mourn, becoming of their who, and every tongue says, beauty should look so.
Sonnet 128. How oft, when thou my music play'st upon that blessed wood, whose motion sounds with thy sweet fingers, when thou gently sway'st the wiry concord that mine ear confounds, do I envy those jacks that nimble leap to kiss the tender inward of thy hand, whilst my poor lips, which should that harvest reap, at the wood's boldness by thee blushing stand. To be so tickled, they would change their state and situation with those dancing chips, o'er whom thy fingers walk with gentle gait, making dead wood more blessed than living lips. Since saucy jacks so happy are in this, give them thy fingers, me thy lips to kiss.
Sonnet 129. The expense of a spirit in a waste of shame is lost in action, and till action lost is perjured, murderous, bloody, full of blame, savage, extreme, rude, cruel, not to trust. Enjoyed no sooner, but despised straight, past reason hunted and no sooner had, past reason hated as a swallowed bait, on purpose laid to make the taker mad, mad in pursuit and in possession so, had, having, and in quest to have extreme, a bliss in proof and proof that very woe, before, a joy proposed, behind, a dream. All this the world well knows, yet none knows well, to shun the heaven that leads men to this hell.
Sonnet 130. My mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun, coral is far more red than her lips red. If snow be white, why then her breasts are dun. If hairs be wires, black wires grow on her head. I have seen roses damasked, red and white, but no such roses see I in her cheeks, and in some perfumes is there more delight than in the breath that from my mistress reeks. I love to hear her speak, yet well I know that music hath a far more pleasing sound. I grant I never saw a goddess go. My mistress, when she walks, treads on the ground, and yet, by heaven, I think my love as rare as any she belied with false compare.
Sonnet 131. Thou art as tyrannous, so as thou art, as those whose beauties proudly make them cruel. For well thou knowest, my dear doting heart, thou art the fairest and most precious jewel. Yet, in good faith, some say that thee, behold, thy face hath not the power to make love grown. To say they err, I dare not be so bold, although I swear to myself alone. And, to be sure that is not false, I swear 1,000 groans, but thinking on thy face, one on another's neck do witness bear. Thy black is fairest in my judgment's place. In nothing art thou black save in thy deeds, and thence this slander, as I think proceeds.
Sonnet 132. Thine eyes I love, and they, as pitying me, knowing thy heart torment me with disdain, have put on black, and loving mourners be, looking with pretty ruth upon my pain. And truly not the morning sun of heaven better becomes the grey cheeks of the east, nor that full star that ushers in the even doth have that glory to the sober west, as those two morning eyes become thy face. Oh, let it then as well beseem thy heart to mourn for me, since morning doth thee grace, and soothe thy pity like in every part. Then will I swear beauty herself is black, and all they foul that thy complexion lack.